Guys, welcome back. All right, my cousins, this is the third video I'm doing today. I had to try to bang them out because I got a little bit of time off, and there's a couple of things that I want to touch on and I want to talk about. So yes, I do look the same, and I'm eating a crumble cookie, being greedy. So as you can see from the thumbnail, this video is going to be about the comments that Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine made a couple of years ago. They resurfaced regarding Black women's health and what happens when they go to the doctor. So she was talking to Kamala Harris, then she was talking to Dr. Heavenly, and then kind of Buffy made a video regarding what she stated. Because as you know, her and Buffy, they don't see it for each other. When they were on Married to Medicine, she kind of outed her about her uterus and X, Y, and Z. So they haven't been the same ever since. So as you know, I'm gonna insert the videos as we go along. The video the interview that she did, that Bravo set up, that she did with Dr. Jackie, with Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm going to insert the video that she did with Dr. Heavenly, and then I'm going to insert the video that Buffy did about the whole situation. Now, I have a few takes on this, but it all points back to pretty much the same thing, and then I'll give a story at the end of what happened to me, and why I feel like this is damaging or detrimental information that she's putting out there to the public, the viewing public, and especially the fact that she's a TV figure, she's a known figure, she's a prominent doctor in Atlanta, and how this can be detrimental to Black women in general and their health. So the first interview was regarding Medicaid and Vice President Kamala Harris trying to get the word out that Medicaid, they want to implement Medicaid for Black women and their health, and the mortality rate for Black women is pretty high, which is the absolute case, because they don't really take Black women and their pain seriously, because I'm going to talk about that later. So we're going to insert that video. I'm going to let you hear that video where her and Dr. Jackie and Vice President Kamala Harris was having a discussion about Medicaid here.
In one of the wealthiest countries in the world, the United States of America, we have the highest rates of maternal mortality. That Black women in our country in this era are 3 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth. I think it's inexcusable.
It certainly shouldn't be that way. And what I really want us to do is just make sure we are talking about it.
We have been fighting for states to expand Medicaid coverage. We need all the states to sign on, and we need to let moms know that they're actually entitled to Medicaid coverage for up to 12 months of postpartum care. And that's one of the things that we need to get the word out. We also set up a hotline for mothers to have support in terms of emotional and mental health support. So I'll give you that number, and let's make sure we get that out also. It's 1-833-TLC-MAMA.
And I'm going to be posting it and shouting it to the hills, so that moms know that we support them, that we want to make this better.
Let us all work together. And I know.
Okay, so now that you guys watched the video, 2 points I want to touch on in the video. 2 things that kind of stood out to me in this video. Kamala Harris was pushing the issue of Black women, the mortality rate when giving birth to Black children for Black women, and then Medicaid being readily available for Black women in order to complete this process. The mortality rate for Black women when delivering Black children is pretty high. Reason being is because they've years and years of history, even when they were experimenting back in the day on Black women and Black women bodies and what works and what doesn't work. Like, they were thousands of Black women had gotten experimented on by this doctor, and that determined how they actually treat us in the world today, present day. So the mortality rate for Black women giving birth to Black children in the United States of America is very high. Reason being is because you can literally pass away for a time during childbirth. And when you're the contractions are super high. Your heart can stop. There's so many things that can happen during childbirth. But doctors in America tend to classify, or even around the world, tend to classify women, black women of color, black women, to have a very high pain tolerance, which we have fit the stereotype. And that's why I want black women to stop doing that. I want them to stop doing that. They feel like our pain tolerance is really high. Reason being is because we wait till the last minute to go to the doctors. A lot of the times because doctors don't really take us serious. They don't believe us. They don't believe that we're in such type of pain, X, Y, and Z. Always the case. I've experienced that this year. Secondly, Medicaid is not readily available for black mothers, nor is it accessible to black mothers. And when the way they're set up, the Medicaid structure now, is you can't have two different types of insurance. You can't have you can't make a certain amount, and that amount is really, really low. And as you guys all know, that black women outpace a lot of people in the workforce current day. We're becoming entrepreneurs. We're making substantially a lot more money. We are more educated than a lot of people throughout the world. It is proven fact and statistics. Those are 2 points that Dr. Jackie and Kamala Harris was discussing, which I agree that Medicaid should be readily available for black women, in particular women to give birth to black children and bring black children into this world. But also the fact that she touched on a point that our mortality rate extremely high. Yes, that's true. Now, with that being said, Dr. Jackie then makes a video with Dr. Heavenly, and she doubles down on this statement, which is very dangerous to say and very dangerous to put into the public, because I'll talk about it after. So I'm going to start the video here with Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie having a discussion about black women and their pain tolerance levels and attitudes towards doctors, going to the doctor and being seen by an OBGYN, whatever the case may be, as hospitals, period.
Sometimes as African American women, we're a bit more dramatic, in that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain, and you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
That ain't me, boo. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
I didn't say you. I just said as African American women, we want to also make sure you're being serious with your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work. Because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
So now that you guys watched the video, I want to touch on 2 points, a few points that Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly discussed in their video. Now, Dr. Jackie stated that when black women go to the doctors and go to the hospital, that we tend to exaggerate our pain. We tend to fabricate our pain, X, Y, and Z levels. Now, the reason why we tend to fabricate our pain, that we do on purpose, in order for a doctor to believe us, when we go to the doctor, we have to be in excruciating pain. We have to constantly tell them that we are not leaving until X, Y, and Z is done. You can't see us, blah, 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 blah. They don't want to deal with us. They don't believe us. They think that we're lying. They think that we lie about a pain. They assume that we are coming to the doctor's office to lie and get drugs. They assume that all black people are on drugs, that this is the case, whatever. I have a story I'll tell you guys at the end. And this is proven by me going to the doctor this year, a couple of months ago. Right. So they don't believe us. So we have to go into these doctors' office and exaggerate our pain. Yes, we have to exaggerate our pain because they don't believe us otherwise. They're not going to run the proper test on us. They're not going to do what they're supposed to do. They're not going to properly diagnose us. We are majority of the time misdiagnosed by doctors because they do not take us seriously. Now, in the video with Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie says that if you see us 26 times and we're exaggerating, we don't know what the real pain is, ma'am, have you been in a hospital working with doctors in a hospital around every Black woman that they see? I have several stories that refute what you're saying, ma'am. Several stories that refute what you're saying. And then she says that, and then two, Dr. Jackie does not take patients with Medicaid. She doesn't take patients with Medicaid. So for her to be on that live with Kamala Harris, saying that she wants to post and warrior for, advocate for women getting Medicaid and whatever the case may be is, she doesn't take patients with Medicaid. She's an elitist doctor, so she takes only affluent Black people in Atlanta, even outside of Black people in Atlanta, but you have to be affluent to see Dr. Jackie. So that was a problem for me. And these messages that you put out into the public, these people, they pay attention. You don't think they're paying attention, but they pay attention. So in the last video that I'm going to show here, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary, Buffy gets on because Buffy has her and Dr. Jackie don't see it for each other. They have been having an ongoing issue since she stepped foot on Married to Medicine, and she outed her that she was infertile, which Dr. Jackie is also infertile. She doesn't have any maternal kids. She's infertile. So for you to tell someone else's story on national television instead of telling your own story on national television was like a slap in the face, but I'll let Buffy tell it. So here's Buffy's.
She said this herself, right? And for all y'all elder OBGYN fans out there, you can scroll on because you done drank the Kool-Aid, the tea, the poison, or whatever, and ain't nothing I'm gonna say get you to see the light of day. So you can scroll on. And this is my platform, and I can say what the hell I want because I've actually met the bitch, okay? The old bitty. And I can age shame all she want because she shamed my motherfucking uterus, okay? All right, so let's begin. Y'all, bravo, because that's who set this shit up with Kamala. Y'all should have let Simone do that interview. Y'all should have let Simone do that. Y'all should have let, I know y'all trying to save her career because I showed everybody who the hell she really is. I know, and y'all paying her all this damn money that she don't damn earn because Black Curtis said this season. Yeah, I'm watching the season now. It's a good season. I'm watching it. Sweet tea, shout out to Sweet tea. That's why I'm watching it. Y'all should have let Dr. Simone do that. First of all, Jackie don't even have no damn regular Black clients, allegedly. If you're a rich Black woman, you can go to her ass. She don't take no damn Medicaid, no, she don't take, like, the people they're talking about Black mortality rates for pregnant women, she don't see them damn people. I bet she can tell Candy and the rest of the people you don't need to be called off work during their pregnancy if they came in there with some damn problems. But the ones who ain't got a coin to pay you in cash, they need to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they're in fact in pain. And you a Black doctor saying this fucking shit, right? Why I got so much smoke? Okay, so I'm gonna share something with y'all. And I shared this with the producers of Married to Medicine when I was on the show. My aunt Dee Dee died in childbirth. Her daughter survived. I'm so thankful her dad is gonna let her spend Christmas at my house, at our house this year. January 9th is the day that my aunt died and my little cousin's birthday. And my aunt went to her doctor, who was a Black woman, and said she was having headaches and having pains, and she didn't believe my aunt. She didn't believe her. She didn't believe her. And I remember January 8th like it was yesterday. And there's so many things I wish that I had done differently. My aunt wasn't feeling well. We had a funeral in our family the next day, and I said, I better not see you. You better not be at that funeral. I better not hear that you went to that funeral. You need to stay in bed and rest. And she had gone to the doctor on January 8th, and they sent her home, and her blood pressure was through the roof. The next morning, her husband took her to the emergency room, and my aunt had a stroke. They took the baby, and she died. All because her doctor thought she wasn't really in pain. Stupid shit like the elder OBGYN just said kills people. It really does. It also puts this burden on Black women that we can't be human, that we have to be sharp as iron and strong as steel all the time, even while bringing life into this world. And that's just not fair. You think if a Black woman doctor thinks that folk that don't look like us don't think that? When y'all gonna call her on shit? Forget me. I know some of y'all don't like me. You don't care. You won't believe the lies they said that I want a storyline. I didn't need a storyline. I was a friend. I was not full cast, even though I was full cast, because the motherfuckers saw who I am and used me for almost every goddamn episode. I didn't need a storyline. I was supposed to show up and be cute. That was it. I was supposed to be just Simone's friend. Not the whole season. And I was. Whatever y'all want to say. It's the motherfucking facts. That this woman chose to treat me the way she did because she didn't have no motherfucking storyline. Catch. Okay? And she's an OBGYN, somebody, and forget how HIPAA, all y'all in that HIPAA shit. You have basic human decency, supposed to. You have professional and ethical basics not to do the shit that this woman does. And Heavenly the dentist tried to help you. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. The dentist wasn't getting caught up in that. She's smart. Y'all don't be catching. I've always said, I don't fuck with Heavenly, but I've always said, the bitch is smart. She ain't stupid. But when you're a narcissist and you think you're Jesus of Jackie, or Jackie of Marietta, you don't watch the evil that spew out your mouth. Sometimes it slip out. Like it slipped out when she was dealing with me, who she was very much intimidated by. Because when evil is around something you've been pretending to be nice, inherently kind like I am, it can't settle. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all stuff together and get Bravo to get her off. She don't need to be. Y'all should have Dr. Simone do that. I don't even mess with Simone, but Simone is an excellent bedside manner. I bet she take Medicaid. I bet she does not put up a fuss when people that look like us say they're in pain while you're bringing life into the world. I bet she don't have no problems with writing a letter to let women call off work so they can sit on bed rest and nurture and bring a black child into this world.
So now that you guys have watched Buffy's statements to Dr. Jackie, I have a few things. When we as black women go to the hospitals, the doctors don't take us serious. I learned that firsthand. Earlier this year, I was sick. I was sick for months, going to all of these specialists, all these doctors, paying all of this money. And I had insurance because I work and I've been working and I barely go to the doctor. So I have insurance, I have decent insurance, but I was still paying because of my coverage and all this stuff. But I had to go to a lot of specialists. And you guys know specialists comes with referrals. Referrals come with these big price tags. I was having this pain in my lower back, pain in my upper back, pain in my chest area. Didn't know what was wrong with me. It was around the time that my mom had passed away. So I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought it was a form of stress and depression and a combination of the two. So I'm going to all of these doctors, all of these specialists, everything. Like my stomach was hurting here, my back was hurting, and I had a pain in my chest. It felt like I was having a heart attack. I went to the ER. Let me tell you guys, I went to the ER, the emergency room, 5 times. 5 times in 3 months. The emergency room. And I kept going back because I kept saying, there's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something wrong. I don't know what it is. There's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something wrong. Each time I went back to the doctor, it was always something. Always an issue, always something. It wasn't until I went to the emergency room for the 6th time was when a doctor took note of everything that I was saying and actually ran a bunch of tests and actually found some stuff where I had to be referred to other specialists. 6 times to the ER. One time, the second time I went to the ER, do you know what this black doctor said to me? She said to me, "What do you think that we're missing that you keep coming back?" Black doctor. Black doctor. Yes. What do you think that we're missing that? And I wanted to say, you know what? But I looked at her face and said, I don't know. I'm not the doctor. That's your job. So then she realized that I wasn't playing. But this same black doctor ended up giving me some either morphine or she gave me something, some type of medication that you can get hooked on that I didn't even know what it was. She called it something else. And then she ended up calling it something else. She gave it to me. And then when I went to the ER for the 3rd time, they tried to give me the same thing, talking about, oh, well, they gave you this here. And I'm just going to bring it. And if you want it, you can have it. If you don't, whatever. Because I'm like, what is that you do? I asked the lady, like, what is that? What you said she gave me? And she was like, well, she gave it to you at the other doctor. And I'm like, but I didn't know she gave that to me. So they was like, well, I'm going to bring it anyway. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, I'll bring it. And, you let me know. So when she brought it, I told her, I don't want that. I don't want that. So now when you go to the doctor as a black woman, you have these doctors assuming that you are there for drugs. And I don't take drugs. I don't even smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke, ganja, none of that stuff. I barely even drink. I stopped drinking this year, right? I don't do any of that stuff. So for them to automatically give me drugs and assume that this is what I'm at the doc. They tested me for cocaine the second time I went. That's why I had to stop going to that hospital, because the second time I went to the hospital, they tested me for cocaine. They literally tested me for these things and never told me. So when Dr. Jackie says that we exaggerate our pain, she's full of it. And shame on her for putting that propaganda out there. I literally had a back condition that I had to go to the spine doctor for. But none of them was willing to actually properly diagnose me until I went to the ER for the 6th time. So when she puts information out there, like misinformation out there like this, shame on her, and she should be held accountable for the words that come out of her mouth, because it's detrimental to Black women's and their health. They already don't take us seriously, but yet this right here is going to help them and reassure them that what they're doing to us is right, and it is not. As an OBGYN doctor, you should be advocating for your Black patients. Clearly, you are not. For you to say this stuff like this, and Jackie needs to be held accountable. Dr. Jackie needs to be held accountable, because and I trusted the doctors. I trusted the health system for the longest until I was put in this situation this year in 2023 in my 40s, and to realize that I cannot trust the health system, that I have to advocate for myself, because so many doctors turned me away, knowing that I was in pain. They wouldn't run a test. They wouldn't do the things. They just wanted to sign that paper and get me out. They wanted my money. You taking my deposit, but you don't want to service me correctly. And then you wonder why people go to other countries and be like, oh wow, they treat you so much better here. The healthcare system is so much better here, and you only pay a fraction of what you pay in the United States. Is because they actually take the time to at least try. Whereas we have people who are in the healthcare field for the money. This whole nurse situation with this that was going on with TikTok, I work with these people. I know what they are like firsthand. There are so many unnice nurses and I didn't realize 100% that all of this stuff is the case until I was actually a patient in a facility, to the point where I was up all night crying. I felt like I had Parkinson's. And I kept going. Come to find out that they had the medication. I was having a reaction to the medication that they was giving me. And it took me 6 times to go to the ER. And they didn't even catch that. You know who caught that? My OBGYN, my Black OBGYN doctor said, it sounds like you were having a reaction to the medication that they had given you. So I'll say all of that to say, you cannot put this information out into the public, because they already view us and deem us as incredible. You cannot do that. They are unwilling to serve us as it is, but yet here you are facilitating their beliefs. You need to be held accountable for this. I had a friend, she had back pains. She told me she's going to the doctor, going to a chiropractor, going to a private. They didn't believe her how severe her back pains was. Didn't want to give her the medication that she needed to help her, because she's on her feet all day working and her back was hurting her. And she said she had to break down crying in her doctor's office in order to get the medication to help her with her back. And I know that she is not a drug taker. She's not a drug user, not that I know of, and I've known her for 20 years. She had to break down crying in her doctor's office. So Dr. Jackie, when you say that we exaggerate our pain, there's many instances, and I am not the only one. There's so many instances in the world where people have to over exaggerate their pain in order for them to be taken seriously. And I'm sure many of you can attest to that if you've been to the hospital recently, especially after, the big C9. So comment down below and let me know if that's the case. So I feel like we need to say something. We need to hold Dr. Jackie accountable for this. I don't care if it was 10 years ago when she said it. It shouldn't have came out of her mouth, because she is a Black OBGYN doctor who is supposed to be advocating for her Black patients. There's too many people in the medical field and the health field that are in it for the paycheck. They're not in it for the care of the people. And it's sad. And if something has to give, something has to change, and I didn't realize it. And even now, like I'll be wanting to go to the doctor now. I'm scared to go to the doctor now. After what happened to me, after they gave me something that was not, that I've never taken in my life, and I could have got addicted to it by one take, I'm so scared to go back to the hospital. In this state that I live in, I'm scared to go back to the hospital just to be seen properly and make sure everything is everything because of that one incident in the emergency room where a black lady doctor gave me this stuff. I could have got addicted to it. Then they tested me for all kind of other drugs. And I'm just like, are y'all freaking kidding me? Do I look like that type? And not saying that type has a look, but I'm just saying. So and now it makes me more skeptical to go to the doctor. So now I have to go the holistic route and the conventional route because I don't trust these hospitals and stuff. And it's sad. And a lot of us have to convert to that way, you know. And I feel like Dr. Jackie needs to be held accountable for her words. I'm really disappointed in her, and she already had given me elitist anyway, from the way, like, when people talk slow like this and enunciate and all that stuff, you have to watch out for them because behind them there's a cunningness behind them that we don't see. I've come across it. There's so much passive aggressiveness behind that, behind those people who speak like that, because they want you to they want to be perceived as nice, and because of the way they speak. So much passive aggressive cunningness behind that, and I had spotted it from the time when I was watching Nature Medicine a while ago. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's discuss it down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.